again, we're gonna focus on really 4 movements actually, that we're gonna work on, right? So we have the child's pose, we have the up dog, and we have the down dog. And then we're gonna finish with basically what we call a flow burpee or a sprawl, okay? Combining that movement, okay? So I'm just gonna go through the movements first, and the progression we're gonna work with. Remember, what we're trying to really focus on with these movements is awareness of the body, okay? And where I'm seeking comfort by compensating, get away from the challenge, okay? And think of, like, the other big intention is length. So I'm lengthening my spine on each of the movements. I should not be feeling compression, and I should not feel pain, okay? It's different than the muscle being challenged versus my knee hurts, okay? So, but for the progression, I'm just gonna go through the whole progression of strolling. So the first is gonna be child's pose, and we're gonna place the top of our foot on the floor, okay, for the first variation. And then we're gonna reach our arms forward. So when we reach forward, remember, we're reaching, but we're packing, okay, our shoulder. So we're reaching and packing. So we're engaged, but we're trying to create space down our spine. So it's almost like we're creating traction. If I'm pulling from one end, and then I'm pushing back to the other end to create traction on my whole spine, okay? So I'm reaching forward, pressing back, and then dropping my forehead to the floor, relaxing my neck. If you can't get to the floor, that's fine, but you're not trying to hold your head up. You're just trying to let it release. And then as we come forward, the first variation, we're gonna be on the forearms. So we're just gonna slide forward. The elbow should be pretty much underneath the shoulder, or actually, slightly behind the shoulder, and the palms flat. I'm gonna spread my fingers. I'm gonna kind of engage the ground, and I'm gonna be active here. I'm gonna press up, and almost like I'm pulling myself, okay? And that engages, and that creates traction from that end. And then the top of my foot's kind of pressing down. I'm slightly squeezing my glutes to protect my low back and also try to lengthen through the front of the body. So I shouldn't feel pressure like pinching in my low back. I should be creating space, not compression. And then to mobilize the neck, just gonna bring the chin down, and then looking up, lengthening through the front of the body. And then the same thing, we're gonna rotate, looking over the shoulder. As I rotate, looking over the shoulder, I'm actually doing a little bit of internal, external rotation of my hips. So I'm gonna roll my left hip down slightly and my right hip up. So I kind of do it from the feet. You notice if I look over my right heel is kind of dropping down, my left heel is dropping out, and just back and forth. So I'm creating a little snake action with my spine. So I'm getting a little rotation as I move, just back and forth, okay? Then pressing back to child's pose again. And then we'll create a little flow out of that, but this time we're gonna keep the hands on the floor. So we're gonna pull forward, press the hips down, look up, press back, push back, pack the shoulder, drop the head. That's our second progression. Now this time we're gonna pull forward, okay? We're gonna pull the shoulders away from the ears. We're gonna try to extend the elbow as best we can with the inside of the elbow facing forward. So this way, I'm screwing in with my hands. I'm not turning my hands out to compensate. I'm creating torque from the floor to my shoulder by rotating my shoulder. And that's gonna rotate my elbow, okay? So if my elbows are facing forward, towards each other, right? You can see what's happening at the shoulder. I'm already gonna pinch my shoulder. So I wanna pull the shoulder away by screwing in, okay? If my hands are too far in front, see how my shoulders are shrugged up? That's a good cue that I'm in the wrong position. So it just means my hands need to be back, okay? And then from there, now we're gonna curl the toes up and we're gonna press up. Sorry, we're gonna keep the knees down for the first one and do the same thing. We're gonna press back and then pull forward. We can keep the knees on the ground. Okay, the next one we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna elevate. So we're gonna think about pressing our heels back by squeezing our quads and glutes, and we pull our shoulders away again, but I'm still down, okay? When I press back this time, I'm gonna try to keep my upper back parallel to the floor. It's almost like I'm going into a push-up, but I'm not lifting my hips. I'm just pressing back, and like I'm trying to press my hips on top of my heels, dropping my head down. And as I come forward, I stay parallel. So if Christy comes and puts her hand above my back, when I move, I shouldn't come above parallel, okay? So when I press back, really engage my hips, pushing back. When I come forward, back and forth, okay? And then the next progression, I'm from here, I'm gonna lift. Now, if she stands in front of me and keeps my hands in place, keeps my back in place, I keep pressing back and down. As I extend my legs, my chest does not come forward. I lift my tailbone towards the ceiling, lengthen my spine, pack my shoulders, then I try to extend my legs, then I try to sit my heels to the floor. Then I keep that pressure, tap my knees, and press back in. We'll do it sideways.
Yeah.
Okay, so I go through that progression. I'll start here, toes up. Okay, I'm gonna come
Yep, come forward. That'd be weird. That'd be weird.
I'll come forward, press up. Now as I press back, that's where she's just doing that to give me feedback. Okay, and I'm really pressing back, lifting, lengthening my spine, pressing away from the floor, packing my shoulder, then try to extend my legs, press my heels to the floor. And then I come back down. So that's the down dog. So now she steps away. The next phase of that would be here. I'm just gonna hop my feet forward, touch my tip of my elbow to my knee. My feet stay like a squat stance. I press back, press down, press back, press up, hop forward. Press back, press back, press up, hop forward, and then just drop my heels, lift my chest, straighten my arm, and I'm in a squat. Stand up, okay? If I do that from the top, it's just the opposite. What am I gonna do? Press my arm straight, pack my shoulder, lift my chest, hinge back, drop into my squat. Come to a ball of foot, place the tip of the elbow at the knee, and just softly rest my hands on the floor. Press back, press down, press back, press up, hop forward, back into my squat, this thing, okay? And that's the progression, okay?